Hello, everyone. It's Maddy from Create Your Future. So, I'm coming on here today to talk a little bit about detachment and also if you need to detach, ways to detach if you feel like you need to, and kind of how to go about that as far as techniques and just the mindset you should have as far as what detachment actually means and looks like on a daily basis. So, if you're watching this video, I am currently on maternity leave. Sorry if you can hear my dog playing with her bone right now. She's sitting right next to me. She's been pretty adamant about that for the past couple weeks. So I am on maternity leave. But I do offer a course right now called Master Manifester. You can find that in the description box down below if you want to work with me specifically while I am on leave. I give a step by step guide on how to manifest the life of your dreams, not only just SP, but money and health, if that's something you're interested in, or you can just choose one. And then I also give a 30-day protocol with book recommendations. I give ways to deal with anxiety, stress, negative thoughts. I call it nasty voice. I've talked about that in other videos as well. So I will not be available to do one-on-one coaching for a little bit. So that's a good option if that's something you're interested in. If not, we have some really great free content on here for you guys. Also, we are still having a contest. If you want to know the details about that, that will be in the description box down below as well. So to get into the video, do I need to detach? Simple answer, yes and no. I know that's not really a simple answer, but at the same time, it is. I'll say why yes and why no. So, what detachment really looks like is detachment from needing the thing to happen. It's very odd because when we are very obsessed with something, when we put it on a pedestal essentially, and we're making it more important than ourselves, we're making it feel, and we have thoughts that drive more towards, I can't have this, therefore I have to very much try and attain it. Where we want to get to a place where it is natural and normal to have this in my experience. I don't have to try to get it. I already have it. Like, for example, he is my boyfriend. We're not going to think of him as Channing Tatum anymore, right? So I'll kind of give you an example of what that looks like as far as SP, since that is something we talk about more frequently on the channel. And I'll, go into some other examples as well. So as far as yes, detachment, why you would need to. So let's say you're manifesting an SP and you start making them more important than yourself, right? So your thoughts would look like, well, why would they love me? Because, they're so great. They have so many of these attributes. They, are kind, loving, sweet, whatever you want to say about them, right? But you're thinking very low of yourself, like, well, why would they want me? Like, I'm not as attractive as these other girls that he dated in the past, or, his friend's really pretty. Why would he want to talk to me? So basically, you're lowering not only your self concept, but you're lowering your pedestal. You deserve to be the prize. So, if you're putting somebody so far up on a pedestal that you are no longer important or therefore worthy or good enough to have said guy or girl be your boyfriend or girlfriend, there is a problem. There is an absolute problem. That will not be sustainable for you long term. Can you manifest somebody in with a negative self concept? Yes. Will you sustain it? No. So I don't want you guys to be in a mode where you get SP, but then a week later they're gone again and they're doing the same behaviors and you're in this roundabout circle that seems exhausting. You feel like you have to work harder then instead of let's work smarter. So I know that's a phrase that we've probably heard 1,000 times is don't work harder, work smarter. This does come into manifesting. Absolutely. So, what I mean by that is when we are working smarter when it comes to manifesting a specific person, not only are, if like you are in a one on one coaching session with me, and I were to hear that you're putting yourself down like that, number one, self concept is going to be absolutely key. If you feel like you can't even get that person because you're not pretty or because they're so much better than you need to work on that. So here's some affirmations that could really help you with that. And that's probably honestly one of the reasons why they're not showing up correctly into your 3D reality. They might not even be showing up at all because you're putting yourself lower on the pedestal. So kind of give yourself this visualization as far as putting yourself back on the pedestal, right? So when we are in a relationship, we don't want this person to be higher up like this, staring back down at us down here while we're trying to get their attention. Like, hey, pay attention to me. Love me, please. Why aren't you paying attention to me the way I want? Why aren't you committing to me? And he's up on his little pedestal waving like this to all of his fans, including you. You're in the crowd. You are amongst many because you don't think you're good enough. So he's like this, like he's the Queen of England or something. And you're sitting there trying to beg for his attention. Even in your head, you're like, why isn't this working? Why isn't he giving me what I want? Because he's treating you like you're not your own movie star. You're treating yourself like you're not your own movie star. You're acting like he's Channing Tatum and he's not your boyfriend, right? So what we want to do is we want to start raising our self-concept. So what that looks like, here's the affirmations. Some of them, obviously, these will be custom to you when you start asking yourself or noticing what your negative thoughts really are specifically for you. But let's just say I'm saying I'm not good enough. Obviously, I'm going to say I am good enough. That's just a baseline affirmation, obviously. But then let's just say there's something deeper underneath the I am not good enough. Maybe it's, well, I'm not prettier than the other girls. You know what? I am beautiful exactly the way I am. If I was meant to be somebody else, I'd be them. Period. I'm meant to be the person I am today. I don't have to change a thing for them to like me. So do you see how I'm talking to myself? Like I'm talking to myself like I'd talk to my best friend. I don't have to say it as in like I intend if I don't feel like that's, if that's really working for me in the moment, I'm going to talk to myself like my friend and hype myself up. So if that helps you a little bit more, instead of saying I intend for this and making it more like factual, which there's no problem with that. A lot of people resonate, and that's why they come to this channel, is because I intend is very powerful. But you can switch it up sometimes. Be your best friend. So of course you're beautiful. Of course you deserve to have any man, woman that you desire. Like they're lucky that you breathe in their direction. They're so lucky that you would even think to consider them as your significant other. So you're putting yourself back on this pedestal of course I'm worthy and deserving. Of course I'm worthy of this desire specifically and this relationship. But then you might have, those residual thoughts underneath where you're kind of digging it up, and your nasty voice will tell you. It will absolutely tell you why. And if you feel like you're not getting your specific answer as to why you don't feel like you're good enough, I want you to ask it specifically why and use it as a tool. We use that a lot in cognitive dissonance, what it's called. And a lot of therapists that specialize in cognitive dissonance will do this with their patients. So what they'll do is they will watch their thoughts. They don't call it a mental diet or talk about manifesting in their sessions, but they do switch their thoughts around, and then they challenge the voice in their head. This is something that I'm telling you to do. So let's just say I'm not good enough, or of course he's not going to text you back. Like, look at you and look at her, right? So that goes to not being good enough or not being beautiful enough to have your person, right? Well, I'm going to be like, well, why am I not beautiful enough to have them? Why would I even compare myself to her? Like, we're nothing alike. We're nothing alike. Why would I want to compare myself to somebody that has a completely different personality than me? Different style, completely different interests and hobbies. We don't compare. Therefore, if my person liked me once before, he's definitely going to keep liking me again. Like, there's something about me that is intriguing. So if that's your starting point of you being your best friend and hyping yourself up is, well, it was definitely possible before for them to like me. They liked some things about me. So therefore, I'm just now going to go on a tangent of why that could be. What do I like about myself? Or what if I were to look at myself from an outside perspective, what would I notice? So I'll give you some examples about like me specifically, right? Just to kind of give you an idea is, let's say I'm being really down on myself about this subject. And I want to pick out some things I like about myself to really get on a roll of those affirmations. And I want to get on a roll of just being that friend, right? Is, Maddy, you have really great hair. Okay, well, that's a start. I mean, it has nothing to do with my personality, but like, my hair is nice, or like, I like the way it lays. I like my highlights, that's a good start. And then let's just say I'm kind of going more towards like the physical tract of like, you have really cool tattoos. Your makeup's always put together whenever you do it. You have a knack for making everything blend together really well. You're very artistic in that way, yada, yada. And my mind might start going towards my personality then. So do you see like I'm going on the tangent? So then, that might turn into, well, you're really kind to people. You're very understanding and patient. You like to give people advice and help people. That's something that not everybody can do, and of course, like, people are drawn to other people like that. They feel like they're a light in the room. So those are some examples of like how I would talk to myself if I started getting really down on myself. And that can be your starter point. So when it comes to detachment in that way, you're detaching from the idea that they are better than you, that they are unattainable, that they are without reach, that you can't get the result that you want. So when you see people on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever social media platform that you are seeing content from about law of assumption, law of attraction, there's a lot of different perspectives out there about what detachment means and looks like. But detachment doesn't mean you have to give up on your person, but you do have to give up on the story you have about yourself in relation to them, the negative one. And you do have to give up on how you're viewing them negatively. So if they really hurt you in the past and they have done you real dirty in the past, you need to, number one, find a way to forgive. So it's not really forgiveness of, I have to like rehash it with that person. I have to keep living in this old state. But for some people, let's just say writing it down, everything that you really feel about that person, that situation, without trying to do some sort of affirmation to combat it, because clearly there is a lot of residual resentment. If that's the case, I want you to write a letter, and I want you to do it without holding anything back about how you truly feel about the actions that they've done in the past and how you feel like they treated you and how they showed up and how you did not like it. But then when you do that letter, I want you to do something that signifies letting that be in the past. So if that means ripping it up, shredding it, setting it on fire, throwing it in the trash, I really don't care. But you're basically going to do a symbolic thing of, I'm now releasing what I have pent up inside of me, and I continuously allow to be in my space and in my thought process. And I'm going to now decide, because you are the deciding factor at the end of the day. So I'm going to decide to let this go and let it be in the past, because clearly that's where it's meant to be if I want to manifest said person or said other thing that I'm trying to attain. So then, when I mean, no, you don't have to give it up or detach, I mean, you don't have to detach from the desire. You don't have to give up on, oh, well, in order for me to get it, I have to like completely forget about it and I have to like not care. Okay, well, then that's your story that you have, and you're going to have to keep getting to a place of really not caring, and then you'll receive your manifestation, which can get really exhausting, because then you're going to get to a point in your transitional period where you really, really want it. You're trying to manifest it, keyword trying. You have a great mental diet. You might not be seeing movement at all, because in the back of your mind, you keep telling yourself, I have to get to a point where I don't care. So if that's the case, switch that belief system as well, as I can get whatever I want when I want it. And I can get it right now. I manifest everything easily with ease. I don't have to try. I don't have to lift a finger. Everything that would be an inspired action for me will come to my mind, and I won't even have a second thought. So I am going to create another video on what it means to have inspired action as well, because I noticed that there were some comments under my videos on where you don't have to lift a finger to get what you want. But then there's the question of inspired action and how that actually looks like and how that works. So we'll talk about that at a later date. So look out for that video as well. But when it comes to detachment, answer is yes and no. So trust your gut, trust yourself, because this manifestational process is really about you. It's not about the outside thing that you're trying to attain. And so I'll kind of give a quick recap on what it means to just have it and how we can make it feel natural and normal for us with, let's just go back to the example of SP to make it easier. I'm not confusing you guys. So let's say I've had them on a pedestal. I've been working on how I view myself in relation to them, that I am good enough, totally attainable. I can get any results I want. He's super lucky I'm even breathing his air, just saying, and he knows it. Great. I'm extremely attractive, offensively even, and he can't breathe in my existence. Therefore, he's obsessed with me. You can use it if you want, but like that, let's just say I get to that point and I'm putting myself more on the pedestal, kind of taking him down. When you are in an equal relationship with somebody, when you are in a healthy, committed, loving relationship and you're not trying to attain them or energetically chase after that person, this is how your thought process is going to look, and this is how you're going to view them. So for me, right, healthy, committed, loving relationship with my SP, I'm going to look at them and say, to myself, obviously, or somebody asked me about them, like, how are they doing? Oh, they're great. How is everything going? Oh my gosh, I super love him. He's so amazing. We get along really well. We have so much fun together. He's just been a really great boyfriend and we've had the best time. Do you see how effortless that was? But I'm actually going to believe that it was really that easy to answer that question just like that, because I'm coming from a very neutral place of, I'm not trying to attain him. I already have him as my boyfriend. He is my significant other. Now, let's just say, remember, I went back to the whole Channing Tatum thing. So a lot of us, when we see like a celebrity or somebody we think is really attractive, like a Channing Tatum or, whoever else you want to insert there as your celebrity crush, we put them on a pedestal and we start fangirling over them. And we're like, oh my gosh, they're so attractive. Like, totally understandable. Like, they hot, But at the same time, I don't have a relationship with Channing Tatum. You could manifest that if you want. I'm just saying. But currently, like for me specifically, I am not trying to get a relationship with Channing Tatum, and I'm not trying to manifest that. But I don't want to view my person as somebody who is a celebrity, who is higher than me, or that has more status than I do, because they are just my boyfriend or my husband or my girlfriend or my wife. I love them and I really appreciate them and I think they're amazing. And I wouldn't want to live my life with somebody else and we have great fun together and I wouldn't ask for a better relationship, but that's my husband or my boyfriend, whatever you're manifesting right now, that's all they are. Just like for them, how they would be viewing me if we were in a healthy, committed, loving relationship is I'm their significant other, I'm their girlfriend, and they respect me. And they love everything about me, even my flaws, because why would they date me if they didn't appreciate me for exactly who I was? So we're making this natural and normal. And if you want to put as one of your affirmations that like this, having a relationship and having commitment, consistency, stability, healthy and loving relationship is a natural, normal experience for me, that is totally okay, because it should be. It shouldn't be that you're trying to get a relationship from them or that you're trying to get them to do something. That's your boyfriend. Of course, they're going to do it for you. they want to make you happy. They want to please you, just like you would want to please them and make them happy. It's an equal effort. So if we're seeing them as an equal partner and an equal person, of course they can be obsessed with you. But when you're manifesting this person, I've also seen this a lot as well, is that we'll manifest them to be totally obsessed with us and they'll come in exactly the way we've been affirming. And then we don't have any feelings for them. We do not see them in that way. We might be like, "Ooh, you're way too clingy." So when you're manifesting your specific person, if you want to be just as in love with them as they are with you, you can also make affirmations that both of you feel just as loving towards one another as the next person, and that you have an equal love for each other. And it is very mutual, because wouldn't you want to feel that love at the same time if you're wanting to have this deeply committed, loving relationship with that person? Like, I see way too many times, and I've made this mistake myself, where I manifest that person in and I just do not want them anymore because they're freaking me out, even though that's exactly what I was intending for in the first place. So when I started manifesting that my specific person and I were very much in love with each other equally, it was a game changer. So I highly recommend it if that's something that you've run into in the past with manifesting your SP or anything else. That, like, it's appreciated on both ends, that it's just as loving on both ends. It's an equal partnership. So you're taking them off a pedestal. Yes, you're putting yourself higher, but you don't want to put yourself so high above them that you think they're like a crappy person or that they're not good enough for you. Because if you're going to start getting into that experience, then you're not going to see equally the result you want either. You might see a little bit of a different experience. They might come back around into your experience, but not the way that you've been wanting specifically, because they're not going to think they're good enough for you. So they might not commit to you the way you want. They might be too scared or kind of put you off and be like, "I do love you. I do want to be with you, but I feel like you deserve better than me. So therefore, I'm not going to pursue you because I'm knowing of that and I'm willing to let you go." That might be a conversation you would have with your person if you started not seeing them as an equal partner. So I know that was kind of a tangent. But when it comes to detachment, again, detach from the old story, detach from the hurt, the pain, the resentment, detach from the negativity that you are holding inside of yourself. That can be done through breath work, that can be done through meditation, through, yes, a mental diet, but sometimes we need to take a little bit of a step back for 10 minutes and like do the breath work so that we can have a mental diet. So when you are finding the technique that works for you to allow yourself to get to a neutral place, that's going to be a game changer for you. So I intend that everybody that watches this video gets the most that they need to get out of it, that it reaches everybody that needs to hear it. And if you're watching this video, you found it when you needed it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I will intend for it. And I say this in every video. I'm saying it a little bit late this time because I kind of forgot in the beginning, but comment down below what you're manifesting, things that you've been successful with. I love intending with you guys. I do watch the comments and I do intend for your success. So if you are interested in sharing, I would love to see it. I know other coaches love seeing it as well in their comment section under their videos. So yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a very successful day, that is, and I will see you soon. All right.